three of you are playing today. All right. I hope you're not too attached to one another because, well, let's just say it could get very ugly in here. All right. No time for dilly-dally. All right. Let's get going by passing out the hardware. And here's the deal with these screws. If you think your neighbor doesn't know the answer to a question, but you want to make him answer it anyway, buzz in and hit the S key to screw up. Now put on your seat belts, kids. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's all about you, player three. Which one do you want?
I'm sorry, Dave. It's question 1.
Now showing ground control to Major God. How does $2,000 sound? Flex those fingers, because here it comes. If David Bowie were to re-record one of his songs, altering the lyrics to describe his role in The Last Temptation of Christ, which of these titles would fit the new tune? John the Baptist, I'm Only Dancing, TVJC15, China Girl, or Pontius Pilate and the Spiders from Mars? Player 3, do it. David Bowie plays Pontius Pilate in The Last Temptation of Christ. Pontius Pilate, Major Tom the astronaut. I think Bowie's really limited in the roles he plays, don't you? Player 3. The selection is Sham. This one's worth $1,000. Okay, you might know MASH, the TV show, but do you remember Robert Altman's movie MASH? Well, get it together and complete the following analogy. Donald Sutherland is to Alan Alda as Gary Berghoff is to whom? Loretta Swit, Wayne Rogers, Jamie Farr, or Gary Berghoff? Player 3, the good news is you're getting Wayne Rogers, way wrongers. Player 1, player 2, go get it. Take a shot. Jamie Farr played Klinger, and Klinger wasn't even in the movie. 2 very good reasons why you're wrong. Player 1, all yours, player 1. Gary Berghoff is Walter Radar O'Reilly, and the only actor who played his character in the film and the TV series. Berghoff didn't, however, stick around for after MASH, but I'm sure his radar picked up the crash and burn. Player 1. All right, here's the deal. Don't you look at me, and it's worth $2,000 if you get this one right. You know, Dennis Hopper's character in Blue Velvet was a real pervert, but people can change, right? Imagine that Frank Booth from Blue Velvet now has a warm and fuzzy personality and works with children. For what activity might he use his favorite equipment? Winning the 3-legged race, making rope and tire swings, teaching kids about stars with his telescope, or inflating party balloons? Player 3, make it happen. It's just tragic. Player 1, player 2, who's taking it? Player 2, grab it. No, Frank doesn't like telescopes. He's an up-close and personal pervert. Player 1. In Blue Velvet, Frank Booth likes to inhale gas from a portable tank. So at the kids' party, if you hear high-pitched crying and shouts for mommy, it's probably Frank. Player 1, it's up to you. What's next?
My question for
And I believe this one's called The Forbidden Dance, or This Ain't No Lambada. This one can net you $1,000. Here's a question for all you erotic movie fans. Considering what Marlon Brando and Maria Schneider use in their celebrated sex scene in Last Tango in Paris, what might they be able to do immediately after intercourse? Swat flies, chop a block of ice, butter some popcorn, or get zestfully clean? Up to you, player 3. Gotta answer it, player 1. The lovers in Last Tango use a stick of butter as a lubricant. When the movie came out, it was a pretty big deal. It was after the release of Last Tango that theaters switched to that imitation butter-flavored stuff. Guess what, Player 3? You're the one who's screwed. Player 1, give me a category. It's a 5! I proudly present actors with tiny muscles. Looks like this one's going for $1,000. All right, imagine this. Upon entering your favorite seafood restaurant, you see Don Knotts swimming in a large aquarium near the kitchen. Which special will probably be on the menu that evening? Blackened Charlie tuna, fillet of Mr. Limpet, grilled flipper, or steamed Mr. Peabody? Player 1, hit it.
Love means never having to say you're sorry, and I love you.
Player 2, Player 3, who won? Player 2, it's yours. Don Knotts turns into a fish in The Incredible Mr. Limpet. Boy, what I wouldn't do for some melted butter now. Hey, maybe there's some left over from Last Tango in Paris. Player 2.
Password. Yeah, tell him 6 sent me.
This one's called Carl Yastrzemski Has a Huge Brain, and you're playing for $3,000 cash money. Hey, did you know Tim Burton's Mars Attacks isn't the first movie to be based on a series of trading cards? If Tim Burton had traded some of his Mars Attacks cards for the first trading cards to be the basis for a movie, which scene might he have included in his comic alien invasion flick? A Martian cracks Donatello's shell, a Martian turns Mario into a reptile, a Martian drowns Augustus Gloop, or a Martian blows up Valerie Vomit? All yours. Player 1, who you want to... You gotta answer it, Player 3. Nope, you're thinking of the Super Mario Brothers movie, which managed to take one of the most popular video games ever and turn it into a motion picture flop. Player 1, Player 2. Take a shot, Player 2. Hey, want a piece of Martian chocolate?
Sure.
Oh, this one's got gloop in it.
Player 1. The first movie to be based on trading cards was 1987's The Garbage Pail Kids. The cards are pretty rare because most kids would rather eat cardboard than that god-awful gum. Player 1, tell me... Well, what do we have here? Men who work together. And you pocket $2,000 if you get this one. Hey, did you realize that Jack Nicholson and Scatman Crothers were in The Shining and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest together? If you combine the scenes from The Shining and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in which Jack Nicholson and Scatman Crothers appear together, what scene might you get? Jack bribes Scatman, then hacks him to death. Jack kisses Scatman, then hacks him to death. Scatman gets lobotomy, hacks Jack to death. Or Jack and Scatman hack each other to death. Player 1, hit it. Nope. Now let's hack your score. Player 2, Player 2. I'm afraid we'll have to garnish your wages. Player 3. No, it was Jack who got the lobotomy. Or was that you? Okay, stunning. Try this one. In Cuckoo's Nest, Jack bribes Scatman